Hey, welcome to another tutorial on how to create Dmods. Right now I'm going to show you how to fix an error that may happen to you in your Dmod. It's happened to me a few times now, and it only happens on screen 1, if it does ever happen. Okay, it doesn't happen on any other screen, so you don't have to worry about this error occurring on other screens. I have no idea why this happens, but like I said, it's happened to me a few times. What you'll notice is if you press H to go into hardness mode and press E, choose any hard tile. It won't let you put any hard tiles on this screen if this error happened to you. If it didn't, then you'll be fine. But it's happened to me, so I'm going to fix it right now. If your hard tiles are fine on this screen, you don't have to fix it. Like, you don't have to do what I'm doing right now, but you can if you want, just so you can stay like the same as me throughout these Dmod creation tutorials. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click on this screen and press copy screen. We're going to right click right here and paste it. And we're going to delete that screen. That screen's a dud. We're not using it through the whole Dmod. This screen is fine, and so is every other screen. As you can see, it lets me place hard tiles, but I just deleted those because I don't need them. Okay, now we actually need to adjust this warp since we moved the screen. So right click on this warp and press set warp begin. Oops. And right click there and press set warp end in the doorway. You don't need to adjust this one because it's still the same. It still says it's going to go to this screen and just here or something. So it'll be fine. Put this door back in line. And that is now fixed. Don't ask me why it happens, I don't know. It's just a weird error that only happens on screen 1 sometimes. Okay, so in the last tutorial we created the hardness for a house. In this tutorial we're creating the hardness for an indoor area, since I said we're actually going to be creating indoor hardness with hard tiles throughout this Dmod. Now, I actually already had like a couple of invisible hard sprites right there in the doorway. Don't worry about that, I just deleted them. We're starting from where you'll be. So this is what yours will look like. We're going to create the hardness from here. So we'll create that hardness right now for all these walls. Okay, so we're going to press H to go into hardness mode, then press E. And I'm going to say which numbered hard tiles I'm using so you can use the same ones, but it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to use number 798, stamp them along here. Just don't stamp them in the doorway. And we're going to do the excess of that doorway that doesn't have hardness on it with invisible hard sprites. Okay, now this very bottom right tile, change that actually to tile 779, so looks like that. And directly above that use tile 795, stamp that all up there. And use tile 798 above that, stamp that all across there. Actually change this tile right here. This one below that first 798 tile, change that to 753. And then over here use tile 796. Change this very bottom left tile to 776. Once again, actually change this one to 755. So it looks like that. And actually over here, bottom left, change that to 782. You find yourself changing a lot of things when you're making a Dmod, but you know, it's worth it if it looks better. Now, this hardness is fine, but Dink will actually be able to walk through these top walls because this hardness isn't thick enough. So we're going to fix that with some hard sprites. So press R to go into sprite mode, then press E. Go sequence 95, frame 1. And right click that, properties, tick hard and invisible, press OK. And we're going to stamp this all along here, so it comes out about that far. It can be hard to get them to line up exactly sometimes, but do make sure they line up. You want it so that if Dink walked across them, he wouldn't get caught on any hardness of a rock that's not lined up with the other rocks. So they should all be at the same Y coordinate if you want to check that, to make sure they're lined up. But you can really just see it from eye. You stamp them across. That's a bit better. Dink won't be able to walk through the walls now. I'm also going to grab a couple to finish off this doorway. I'm going to place a couple here. Make sure screen match is on, and you'll know because press it up here. It should say SCR_match in the bottom right in the status bar if it's on, because we won't actually be able to place the sprite here otherwise, since the cursor's on this screen with nothing on it. So make sure screen match is on. You want to get this lined up exactly with the edge of the other hardness, so there's no difference when Dink walks along it. Just like that. Just across a little bit though. About there. That's good. And same over here. About there. And there you go. That's hardness for an indoor area. Let's try that out right now. Go across to the house. And there's actually some depth queue errors with the bottom walls. We'll fix that in a sec. But aside from that, it all works well. So there's just a depth queue there. You can actually see him walking on the wall. We don't want that. So we'll fix that. If any of your walls show Dink walking on there, just excuse me for a sec, but I've got to close this Dmod and reopen it, because when I'm recording, for some reason, if I test it out, it gets rid of the hardness. So just don't worry about that. There we go. The hardness is back. Okay, so to fix a depth queue of any walls that Dink can walk in front of, this is what you want to do. Move your mouse to anywhere below, like inside this hardness, and for me, I'm going to use Y380. You probably can use the same thing too, because your walls are roughly in the same position. So right click on each bottom wall and change the depth queue to 380. Okay, I've actually already changed a couple here, but you know, that's what you have to do. Change all these bottom walls, the depth queue to 380, or anywhere below this hardness, inside this hardness block, and that will fix that. Okay, let's try that out. And you can see that there's no depth queue error anymore. Dink can you can sort of see his foot though when you walk. You can just see a little bit of his foot walking through there. So we'll fix that too. Same thing, just change this very edge piece to 380 as well. Depth queue 380, I mean. And there you go, that'll fix it. Once again, my hardness is gone, but that's alright because that will work now. And that concludes this tutorial on hardness again, and fixing that error that occurs sometimes. I showed you how to fix that. So anyway, that concludes this tutorial, and I'll see you next time in my next video.